I'm talking about the controversy involving Herschel Walker and Georgia, and what should good Republicans, good conservatives, good Christians do? Should they vote for Herschel Walker? Should they somehow say, "Oh no, we're not going to vote for Herschel Walker. We're just going to sit this one out," which is kind of what the left wants. They kind of know that the conservatives aren't going to vote for Raphael Warnock. And I was making the point in the last segment that this kind of abortion documentation is easily faked. Remember, this is being done by a media that has absolutely no commitment to integrity or honesty. You can't trust one thing that these people say. And I'm not just talking about the Daily Beast. You can't trust one thing NPR says or the New York Times says. These are the same people who cook up dossiers, make false allegations. They have multiple allegations against Trump, bounties, and on it goes, one lie on top of another. And so this should be seen as the latest in a train of likely falsehoods and cooked up lies, and they don't hesitate to perpetrate these lies. Now, the question is, are we stupid enough just to go on face value? Oh yeah, well, this obviously happened. You have to be born yesterday to fall for that kind of nonsense. Now, let's turn to Christian Walker, a guy that is a good guy, and a guy who is actually a victim. He suffered, and he even says this in one of his videos, he suffered because he was raised fatherless. Now, he's not the only person to be raised fatherless. Fatherlessness is a huge problem in the country. It is an even bigger problem in the Black community, where it is, I'm sorry to say, an epidemic. It's basically the norm in Black America. So this is heartbreaking, of course. And Christian Walker is right to be disappointed and even angry about it. Now, here's the point. Christian Walker was born in 1999. His father divorced his mother in 2002. Christian Walker was 3 years old. So he doesn't know firsthand from memory what his dad is really like. Mostly, I'm assuming he's learned it from his mom. So he's reflecting his mom's perspective. He even says in the video, my mom and dad had a bitter divorce. And so you're getting an account of a man who's coming from somebody who can be assumed to be very hostile, giving one side of the story, telling at best the partial truth. And so this is not something that you can take as an accurate representation of Herschel Walker's character or life. Now, Herschel Walker was an athlete. The part about having 4 children with 4 different women, undeniable. I'm assuming that this is something that's can't really be contested. And so we have to say, and Christian Walker calls for authenticity, like, let's be honest here, let's speak up. And I think we have to be honest and recognize there is a terrible culture of promiscuity. There's a problem in the country generally, but there's a terrible problem, particularly among athletes, among Hollywood types, among rock bands. I mean, it is an open secret that this goes on. I remember going back now, I guess when Kobe Bryant bought this huge ring for his wife as a kind of atonement for his sexual escapades, there was a very interesting depiction on one of the TV shows where they talked about these basketball wives and how it's kind of an open secret among them that their husbands are all cheating on them. I mean, this is just disgraceful, but it does happen. I also am not sure it's fair to say that it reflects Herschel Walker now. We're talking about events that happened a decade or more ago. And it is possible that Herschel Walker could say, A, I never paid for this abortion, or B, you know what? If I did it, it represented an earlier phase of my life that I'm going to leave behind. By the way, in some ways, when you were dealing with mistakes of our past, I'm sure many people, Trump included, would say, yeah, I lived a different kind of life when I was younger. I've come to my senses. I'm wiser now. And so it's not necessarily hypocritical of Herschel Walker to have done some bad stuff before, let's just say 2009, and be a changed man, a redeemed man, a better man today. So I'm trying to put all of this in context in order to say that we need to be very wary before we fall for the left standard play. And the left standard play is that we don't care about morality, but we know you do. So we're going to shove the immorality of one of your candidates in your face, and then we're going to laugh like crazy as your own side turns around and knifes your own guy.